and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we're going to have a very interesting and thoughtful meeting today. Thank you all for coming. We're going to have a proclamation that's going to be honoring all municipal, volunteer fire departments, battalions, rural fire districts, wildland fire agencies, and fire personnel, past and present, for their courage, dedication, and selfless act of heroism in our communities. Commissioner Boyce was scheduled to read this proclamation, but he had an attack by some of his bees, and his face is swollen up pretty bad, so can't see, and so I wish him well, but so I get the honor of reading the proclamation, so I'm gonna do that now. Whereas we are honored to recognize April 26th through May 2nd, 2026 as Firefighter Appreciation and Fallen Firefighter Memorial Week in Douglas County. This week we honor the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices made by our fire service personnel, including all career, volunteer, wildland, and structural firefighters, as well as chief officers, company officers, battalion chiefs, engineers, lieutenants, captains, fire marshals, public information officers, administrators, those that are cross-trained as EMTs and paramedics, and fire office personnel. And whereas we recognize that this week we pay tribute to the 45th Annual National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend to honor the sacrifices made by our fallen fire heroes who perished while bravely fighting fires and protecting our communities, our forests, our livestock, our businesses, our homes, and our natural resources. The tribute also allows our nation to remain faithful in the pledge made to the families of our fallen fire heroes that we will never forget. And whereas we recognize that firefighters are dedicated public servants who place themselves in harm's way to protect the lives, property, and well-being of our communities. Whereas these brave men and women respond to emergencies with courage and professionalism, facing dangers such as fire, hazardous materials, medical crisis, and natural disasters. And whereas firefighters not only respond to emergencies, but also work tirelessly to prevent them through education, training, community outreach, and fire safety programs. And whereas we recognize the physical, mental, and emotional demands of this honorable profession and express deep gratitude for the commitment and sacrifice of every firefighter, past and present. And whereas as of December 2025, the names of 182 Oregon firefighters who have died in the line of duty, dating back to 1881, are inscribed on the Oregon Fallen Firefighters Memorial Wall, including 19 from Douglas County. This June, another Douglas County firefighter will be honored on Oregon's Fallen Firefighters Memorial Wall, bringing the county's total to 20 fallen fire heroes. And whereas in 2017, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation created Light the Night for fallen firefighters to recognize our fallen heroes. As a gesture of support and honor, we have asked that the exterior lights of Douglas County Courthouse be turned red from April 26th to May 2nd, as a tribute to the 20 fallen Douglas County firefighters, their families, and all fallen fire heroes across our great nation. And whereas it is fitting to dedicate a week to show appreciation for their heroism, dedication, and faithful service of the firefighters who have rendered immeasurable service to the communities they serve. And now therefore, we, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, Tom Kress, Chris Boyce, and Tim Freeman, call upon all citizens of Douglas County to observe this week as Firefighter Appreciation and Fallen Firefighter Memorial Week in Douglas County, and ask you to join us in honoring all our fire heroes, past and present. Very good. Today we also will dedicate today the memory of our fallen firefighters who selflessly gave their lives to our communities. We do this to honor them and make sure that they are never forgotten. We have researched lists of fallen firefighters from local agencies as well as from state and national archives. We were able to locate the names and respective agencies for 20 fallen firefighters in Douglas County dating back to 1951. This list sadly includes a new addition in 2025, Sutherland Battalion Chief Mike Merlino. I think now, let's see, now we're going to invite up Chief Bullock with Central Douglas Fire and Rescue. Assistant Chief Dave Newquist with Roseburg Fire and District Manager Pat Script to come forward and recite the fireman's prayer and recite the names of our 20 fallen firefighters in Mills County and present the last alarm.
Commissioners, how are we doing today? Thank you for this. So I'll read the fireman's prayer and then pass it off with. When I am called to duty, God, whenever flames may rage, give me the strength to save some life, whatever be their age. Help me to embrace a child before it is too late, or some older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and give the best in me to guard my neighbor and to protect his property. And if according to your will I have to lose my life, please bless me with your protecting hands, my children and my wife.
Name to the 20 Douglas County fallen firefighters: Jerry Bain, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1951. Roy McFarland, Roseburg Fire Department, 1959. John Richardson, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1961. Richard Umpill, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1979. Elwin King, Fair Oaks Fire Department, 1984. Mark Giles, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1987. James Moore, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1987. Russell Bryan, Elkton Fire District, 1987. Julius Starr, United States Forest Service, Roseburg, 1990. Clark Gilkison, Fair Oaks Fire Department, 1991. Rob Johnson, Prineville Hotshots, South Canyon Fire in Colorado, 1994. Paul Gibson, First Strike Environmental, 2003. David Hammer, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Jeffrey Hengel, First Strike, 2003. Jesse James, First Strike, 2003. Richard Burt Moore II, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Leland David Price Jr., First Strike, 2003. Mark Robert Ransdell, First Strike, 2003. Ricardo Ruiz, First Strike, 2003. Mike Marlino, Sutherland Fire Department, 2025.
So, last alarm. It was the bell that signaled the start of duty, and through the days and nights, each alarm was sounded by a bell. It called the firefighters to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow man. And when the fire was out and the alarm had been completed, it was the bell that signaled its end. We seek strong words and symbols that give us better understanding of our feelings when we experience a loss. And we use those symbols and words to reflect the devotion our brothers and sisters had for their duties. The sounding of the bell is a special signal of 5 rings 3 times represented the end of their duties, and that they are returning to their quarters. And now our brothers and sisters have completed their task. Their duty is well done. They have given their best for our fallen, for their last alarm. They have gone home.
Thank you, gentlemen. If we could, before we go into the proclamation and presenting of some of the certificates and pictures, can we have 15 seconds of moment of silence? Thank you all. This time we're going to call some people up. We're gonna have some proclamations presented to them. Commissioner Freeman's gonna do that, and we're gonna get some pictures taken.
Sorry about how I'm gonna look in these pictures. It's just how I look.
All right, I'm gonna go through the list, and if you are representative of that agency, please come forward. We're gonna do these by agency, and then we will do a picture with everybody at the end. So, is anybody here from the Umpqua National Forest? Oregon Department of Forestry? Fair Oaks Fire Department? Come on up.
You guys are coming over.
3, 1, 2, 3.
You good?
Okay. Looking Glass Fire. Tri-City Fire. Roseburg BLM. Glide Fire.
Sure, how's it going?
3, 1, 2, 3.
You guys are coming.
Camas Fire. Milo Fire. Elkton Fire. Azalea Fire. Days Creek Fire. Tiller Fire. Myrtle Creek Fire. Kellogg Fire. South Umpqua Fire. Glendale Fire Department. Winchester Bay Fire. Scottsburg Fire. Reedsport Fire. Gardner Fire. Oakland Fire Department. Let's see here, and then we have Roseburg Fire Department. We have a lot of fire departments.
Yes, we do. Seems like some summers we run into all of them.
Yes.
3, 1, 2, 3.
I know that there's a Chiefs meeting, and so that's why we have a lot of people going in annual physicals. Sutherland Fire Department. Central Fire and Rescue. As well as Winston Dillard Fire. Okay, it's gonna be a big group, isn't it?
Maybe have some go up above too, what do you think?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll sit down here.
What do you think? One loss. me up above?
Yeah, probably, no, so I want you here at this, can I get, it'll perfect right there. Good. Alright,
Sorry.
alright, everyone listen, alright. On three, 1, 2, 3.
Alright.
Hang on, he's gotta get one here real
Sorry
quick.
about that.
Sorry,
So quick.
good cameras.
We were out.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Right, thank you, Emily. Douglas Forest Protective Association.
Board member come up too? Okay.
Three, 1, 2, 3.
You did? Alright, thank you. North Douglas Fire and EMS.
Thank you, sir.
You can just back right over here and do this.
You have to excuse me. This is upside down.
It's okay. They never gave me one.
3, 1, 2, 3.
We've had to Photoshop more than one to get it right, so that's okay.
Umpqua Valley Ambulance. 10 Mile Fire District. Cow Creek Tribal Fire Management.
So you guys can go up to the top.
Yeah, there's some that can go up to the top next to
Head up to the
Commissioner Chris.
Come on up, some of you guys. Come on up.
Tall guys up there.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, you two on the other side over here, up top.
Chief, how are you? Doing good. Brought the whole crew. Good job, appreciate it.
You're good where you're at, actually.
I don't want the room to tip over, we all get on one side.
Can I get you at the end to swap places with the person right next to you? Alright, on 3, actually, I want to have you take 1/2 step to your right. It's my right, your left. Yes, you. Perfect, alright. Alright, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you take a picture? Yep.
Hold on.
Alright, looks good. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, now, did I miss anybody? Did I miss any agencies? Try real hard to get them all. Okay, now I need everybody up
I
here.
was just gonna tell you.
Everybody's up.
It's like we get to hold our places.
Yeah, you got it good. Come on. Ken, you wanna come up?
How you guys doing?
We go all the way up top. If you did not get a certificate, raise your hand.
Good.
Did everyone get one?
Yeah, where are they gonna put you?
Is there anybody else that didn't get one?
Stand up on the Get the tall guys to stand down.
Maybe have Pat come with a little bit lighter uniform down?
Pat, you wanna come?
Break up?
Not really.
Not really.
I was gonna say, you're gonna splash
Maybe do enough today.
There's something about ice cream in the paper, what's that about?
There we go.
I guess some of the individuals on this side to move over here on this side, we have a lot of people over here, and honestly, we have a little more space also. If you can't see me, I can't see you.
Figure it out.
Yes.
All good.
Sir, can I, right here, can I get you, Chief, can I get you to swap places, maybe 2 down? maybe the person standing right over here, Matthews. I think he's a little taller than me, so I want to.
Say chief here and everybody answers.
Yeah.
Decide where to go.
When you meet with the medical community, I just call everybody doctor.
There
right?
we
Yeah, I
go.
see everyone now.
It's a bit of a back and forth.
Yeah, okay. Alright. On 3, 1. My goodness. On 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll get a couple of these. This is a wide one. Right. Yeah. Alright, my turn. Alright. Back up.
He's zooming out.
Alright.
Could you,
Can I?
Yeah.
Still zooming out.
There we go. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Alrighty.
More's better.
it's a forceful. I'll put you on the outside. We done?
No, we gotta get the audience.
Looks like we're done.
They're trying to get through.
Always in the way, always in the way.
Please make sure you sign the clipboard going around. I need everyone's name on there.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
I take your chair?
Nah, it's all right.
You're losing them.
Oh, we're gonna have some folks talk now.
Yeah,
Wait,
we've
we're
got a,
not done yet.
gentlemen, yep, come on, we weren't done. We shouldn't have told them.
Sorry. Didn't get away so quick. Did all of you sign that process?
Okay, cool.
You want to say a couple words if I could at the end? Sure.
Hey, so I'm gonna invite a couple people up to talk, about what this means to you and what, about your organization. The first one I've got is Chief Rob Bullock with Central Douglas Fire and Rescue. Yep, outgoing guy gets to go first.
I can go first. Commissioners, thank you for this, and I wanna, recognize that been doing this for a while, so I've seen a lot of things come and go, and the amount of effort and the things that I see the firefighters run into to help other people, they sacrifice a lot. And it's not always with their life, it's with their time with their family, it's with time with friends, it's free time. It's a lifestyle, it's not just a job, and everybody here gives everything they can to the people we serve. And to be remembered and honored is nice. And I just wanna thank you, and I wanna thank everybody in here for the effort they put forth, be it paid, volunteer, wildland, EMS, all of it is for the people we serve, and they give everything they have every day, so thank you.
Can I get Assistant Chief Dave Nyquist from Roseburg Fire to come up?
Didn't know I was gonna be speaking on this, but I'd like to thank you for honoring us this week. It's something we don't look for all the time, but it definitely is nice, and we really appreciate it, so thank you.
Thank you. How about Deputy Chief Travis Terry, North Douglas Fire and EMS?
Thank you, Commissioners. It's been an honor to have you guys recognize us. Prior to getting full-time with the fire department, I had the honor to be a sheriff deputy for quite a few years. So coming on with fire department, it's been an honor to see with the North Douglas Department, we have a dual paid staff and volunteers. What's really a privilege is to see the volunteer side of the organization and how much effort that they put in. Not only that the volunteers, but what I see the families go through, how much time and effort that they put in, and the families, what they go through, the volunteers, get up in the middle of the night and respond to these calls. And not only how it affects them, but their wives are laying in bed waiting for them to get back home, and that wonder if they're gonna get back home. And we never know when that time happens, that they may not. But we appreciate the honor that you are here giving us today, this week, for the sacrifice that everybody does give, not only volunteers and the professionals, but the families that it takes to get everybody through this. So thank you. Thank you.
I have Brendan Pettibone come up with Cow Creek Tribal Fire Department.
Chief, come on, Lonnie?
Lonnie
I
here?
didn't know if Monty was.
Yeah, Lonnie, you want?
Yeah.
You almost got out of that. If we didn't all know you so well, you might have been able to slip by.
Yeah.
Cover my head.
You can get by there. Sorry about that.
It's like an obstacle course.
A little tight in here.
Getting too old to go through things like that. All right, well, commissioners, thank you for everybody here. Thank you for having us, appreciate it. It's nice being recognized, having the tribe recognized in this capacity now. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the departments that are here, because our tribal members live and they work in the areas that you guys protect. So without you doing your jobs tirelessly, it wouldn't be as safe. So thank you for that. Real quick history on the tribe. The tribal fire department, we started in 2023. And the idea was to build capacity so that we could be a force multiplier for the community, the tribal community, and the community at large. And we've taken great strides since then. We have 12 members now. And we have engine bosses, we have firefighters, chief officers. We have a lot of experience on the ground, and we're building capacity now to hopefully, moving forward, help work with the local fire departments to protect our folks and the community at large. To build on what the other chief said, I've always thought of one of my favorite sayings was, I can't remember, Rudyard Kipling perhaps said it, but good people sleep peacefully at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. I've always loved that saying, coming from law enforcement, fire service. I think it's important that we have people like the folks sitting in the audience here who do those things, who wake up in the middle of the night to protect the rest of us so we can sleep. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I also would like to have Ken Cannon, he's on the DFPA Board of Directors. He asked to speak, and I'd like to let him do that.
Greetings, Chair Kress, Commissioner Freeman. This is gonna be a little different from what you've heard. It's our response to you and all the support that you have provided to DFPA through the years. Incredibly important to us. And we have a letter here that has been signed by the entire board. I'd like to read that. We have a certificate and then challenge coins for each of the commissioners. The letter says, on behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire team at the Douglas Forest Protective Association, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude for your unwavering support of our association. Your commitment to our local association has been instrumental in helping us fulfill our mission of providing the highest level of service to safeguard life, resources, and property through practical prevention and aggressive fire suppression. The partnership between Douglas County and DFPA is a cornerstone of our district's success. Whether through collaborative emergency management or fiscal support, your leadership assures that we remain ready to protect the 1.6 million acres under our care, as we have done for 112 years, actually 114 years. As a token of our appreciation and a symbol of this enduring partnership, the board would like to present each of you with a DFPA challenge coin. In the tradition of first responders, these coins represent more than just appreciation. They are symbols of honor, shared values, and recognize the tireless service to those that have helped DFPA fulfill our mission and recognize your tireless service to our community. And I would like to emphasize, we talked today about safety, in our kind of core is we want our people to be safe. And what you have done in helping us with our radio system, our towers, has certainly contributed to that. We work in a very, very large geographic area. Having the ability to communicate with one another is incredibly important. So thank you. I will hand these out. And we also have, so that's the letter. We also have a very, very nice kind of certificate of recognition. And you, here's for.
You got that? This one's.
Okay,
There we go.
okay, yeah, I didn't look at that. Okay, I'm glad you're in charge. And then the coin, don't spend it all in one place. Here's the challenge coin. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you will, I'll run into you and make sure you get one of ours.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm gonna have you stay up here if the commissioners come down.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
Get a picture with the three of you.
You want any of this with us?
Yes, please.
Not doing well. You said to bring them down, so.
On three, 1, 2, 3.
Got it?
Thank you.
Okay, we're all
Thank
good.
you very much. Tim, thanks again.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Wow, that was unexpected, but thank you very much. So I don't know if there's anybody else that didn't speak that would like to. This would be a good opportunity before we wind down. I know nobody really wants to, and I understand that, but I wouldn't wanna,
Chief Dame was leaving?
I don't wanna call anybody out, but yeah, Chief Damon, why don't you come up and say a few words?
You shouldn't have your name on your shirt if you didn't wanna talk.
Man, where do I start? Thank you for this opportunity to be here. And thank you for acknowledging our fallen family members. I look forward to working with the Cow Creek Tribe and with all the other districts around this coming summer. And I suspect that we will see you there too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to come up, say a few words? Not
Couple things if I
yeah,
may.
Commissioner Freeman might wanna say
So,
something.
thank you all for being here, and I recognize today is Fallen Firefighters Memorial Week, but it's also Firefighter Appreciation. And I wanna focus a little bit on the appreciation part. The memorial stuff's kinda tough, and it is something you all deal with every day as you respond to do very difficult work. But on the appreciation side, I got a couple things I wanna talk about. First, I've been fortunate enough to serve as an ex officio member on the DFPA board, which allows me to come to meetings and hear the reports of the work that they do. And it's nothing short of amazing, the goals they have set for themselves and how often they achieve those goals. And we get to hear about previous fire season, and then of course we get sort of a preview or some concerns about the upcoming fire season. And yeah, it's been pretty dry, so we certainly may be out in the field this summer. When we do those responses from the county's perspective, by the time the commissioners get there, one of the agencies or multiple of you are already there, and it's so reassuring to see you on the ground doing the work you do. Oftentimes the sheriff and I or individually will show up on a wildfire, and it amazes me. We'll be along a highway or a road, and there'll be a fire truck in the road, and then there's like a cut bank and then a hose going up the side of the mountain. You think, man, there's people at the other end of that hose that drug it up there. And I can't even think about getting across the ditch, let alone up the mountain. And they're up there putting the fire out. So it's pretty remarkable, the work that goes on. And it's the same thing with structural fires and what people sort of think of firefighters are. But a couple other things that are also equally as important and probably happen more often than even the fires is all the other emergencies you respond to. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about just the flood we had last year. The morning of the flood, of course, it was on a weekend, and I was asked to go look at some of the roads, and that's something we do with the Public Works Department here, is the commissioners go out and just are another set of eyes to help report what's going on. So I was down in the green area, and there was a road that had been flooded, of course, and a creek had overtopped the bridge, and some people live fairly close, and there was a need to get a person out of a home that had some mobility issues. And the water was relatively deep, certainly too deep to drive a normal vehicle through. So the fire department that was there, Central Fire, sort of commandeered a citizen that was willing to help with a big tall pickup and figured out a way to get in with a boat that they had, the fire department had, and an inflatable, and get this individual out. And just thinking about the logistics of that and the creativity and the importance of that, the person and their family, to make sure that they got out safe is nothing short of incredible. Without you being there, those people, may not have made it through the flood. And that is repeated every single day, day in and day out throughout the county with all the different fire departments. You all figure out a way to help people. And oftentimes it's pretty innovative. So I want to talk also, DFPA, as just luck would have it, Monday was their annual board meeting, and I attended it, and they talked a little bit about a medical response for one of their firefighters that got hurt, and the fact that they had put together a medical team some years ago to be able to respond, and that they called an incident within an incident. And I think the report was the nearest sort of ambulance time-wise responding was like an hour and a half away. But since they had put together their own sort of quick responding medical team, they were able to get there and help that particular firefighter get the medical care he needed. We had the opportunity a few years ago to help fund a portion of the medical cash through our Title III program. And it's pretty rewarding when you see something you invest in actually serve the purpose it's supposed to in real time. And then finally, I wanna, and I was joking about not needing the tissue for the tears, but I'm gonna get through this without needing it. So what brought me to the whole idea of public service was a response. Some of you have heard this story, and I apologize. Some of you are younger and maybe haven't heard it. It's been quite a while ago now. I was out of town with some friends, and I got the proverbial 3 a.m. phone call. It was actually a little bit after 2 in the morning. There had been a fire at my house. The Roseburg City Fire Department responded, and from their call response time was 3 minutes and 48 seconds. They got to my house and saved my wife and children. I, of course, rushed back to town, lived in a motel for several months, rebuilt my house and my life, and was so terribly grateful. In those times, really, you discover that nothing else matters. Literally nothing. Your family is what's important. And of course, the fire department was there to save my family when I wasn't. And I got to thinking, I wrote a very nice letter to the fire department and to the city of Roseburg, thanking them. And I got to thinking, some group of people stepped up to serve the community in roles, elected official roles and other roles, budget committee, different things, to make sure that service was in place for my family when I needed it. and I better do that. Cause I watched over time as the city council was closing fire stations, laying off firemen, laying off police officers, and building parks. And I just thought the priorities were a little bit skewed. I asked a customer of mine that was on the city council, what the hell are you doing? And he promptly said, you don't understand, this funding all comes from different places and it's all very restricted. But you ought to get on our budget committee and then you'll understand. So I immediately marched down to City Hall, least likely guy in the world ever to be involved in public service and being in front of people. And filled out an application to be on the budget committee, and just lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, I was chosen. And I thought that was a pretty big deal at the time. Now, sometime later, I found out I was the only one that applied, but for a while, I thought it was a pretty big deal. I went to attending budget committee meetings and quickly discovered there was some policy decisions being made on the city council that was sort of directing the priorities of the city. And one of my city councilors in my ward was having a tremendous problem with some of the personal attacks of being an elected official. That has not got any better, I will guarantee you that. But he was having a really hard time dealing with it. And he would stomp out of meetings every 2 or 3 meetings, upset. And I walked out after one of the meetings with him and said, hey, if you get tired of this, I wouldn't mind taking a shot at it. He goes, well, I'm gonna finish my term out. I'm like, great, I got lots to learn. I'm gonna keep coming and learning. The very next meeting, 5 minutes into the meeting, he got upset. One of the other counselors was picking at him and he stomped out. And the next morning he called me and simply said, get your paperwork ready, I'm resigning today. And the city went through a appointment process, I was chosen, and we really went, we took the time to have some work sessions and understand more of the policy decisions that were being made. 6 months later, I was elected council president, and we really set out to put public safety back as one of the core functions of city government. We were able to change some urban rural district around, get some money back into the general fund, hire the firemen back, hire the policemen back, and build that public safety center. That was a legacy project of mine on the city council. I got a chance to go to the Oregon legislature. I asked to be on the public safety subcommittee of Ways and Means. And got to do that work up there. I was chosen to be on the Homeland Security Council and continue my commitment to public safety and the work that I do today. All that stems from a group of you going and saving my wife and children. You do that every single day. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, for myself, growing up, all the time growing up, my uncle was a firefighter for Roseburg Fire Department. And, early on that, it was a uniform. What didn't really mean a lot to me, I think, but I wasn't very old. And some of you in here might remember this, I'm showing my age, but I wasn't very old when there was the Umpqua Hotel burned. And, I don't know, most Roseburg came to watch that fire, I think, at some point or another. And I remember there was afterwards there was hearing about some firefighters got hurt in that. I think the floor collapsed or something in that effect. And it just kind of really impacted me and thought, wow, this is a dangerous job. This is something somebody could get killed. Didn't know that. I wasn't all that old at that time. And it goes on, and maybe some of that waned in me a little bit over time because you don't hear about anything particularly. And then 2003, the first strike guys, I knew some of them, and that really brought it to home. And y'all have a really dangerous job, and we do really, really appreciate the job you do. So thank you very much, and we appreciate it. That portion of our deal is over. You guys can stick around if you want, or you can get back to your lives. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that while we go on with our business meeting. But thank you all for coming. It means a lot to us.
I will, I'll send you guys all that.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Plan on it.
direction in life. Just that one event just changed completely, my desire to serve the public. I mean, it was being selfish, to be quite frank. It's all that matters. So, take care.
Take care, thank you.
I've got coins.
You should just leave them up here or something.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys have been on the spot. Things trouble about the whole thing. You guys do the great work that you do for you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, is that the drought thing?
Yep. All right.
Before you leave, if you want a picture of these, we'll put them out for you. Okay. Very good.
Okay, next item on the agenda is our consent agenda. We have one modification, of a $2.51 modification of a contract that I will move to approve that on our consent agenda.
Do we wanna do that all at once, or do you wanna break it up?
Well,
I will move to approve the consent agenda.
well, and I'll second your motion, but call for the question, Commissioner Freeman?
Aye?
Chair votes aye, the motion passes. Okay, now's the time for citizens' questions or comments on the rest of our agenda.
Also known as citizen participation.
Yep, also known as citizen participation. So now is that time. If there's anything on the agenda you want to talk about or have questions about before we bring it up and before we discuss it, now's the time. Anything online?
Nobody online.
That, I'm gonna move right into the agenda. Parks Department. Oh, he's sitting back there behind the podium. Right up, Parks Director, Mark Wall.
Which,
Morning,
like,
Commissioners.
firefighters, our guys sort of sit in the back too.
Yep.
Good morning, Mark Wall, Parks Department.
Good morning.
Before you got grant agreement 2527 MAG 39 from the Oregon State Marine Board, in the amount of $366,287. This is to assist the department in the operation and maintenance of the boat ramps in Douglas County. This is an increase of $15,000, $15,500 annually. And term of the agreement is 7/1/25 through 6/30/27. That's not a typo. They had some administrative changes at the Marine Board. They're just catching up on agreements.
So I will move to approve the grant agreement.
I'll second that.
I do,
Questions or comments?
I do want to note that this funding is biennium funding from the state. So it's 2 years worth of funding, so it covers 2 years of our years. So the funding will show up in two different budgets, so it carries over.
Correct.
So, thank you.
Call for the question, Commissioner Freeman.
Aye?
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you. Next item is a public works item. Several items are public works items.
He's got some work to do.
Yeah, good stuff. Morning, Commissioners. Scott Adams, Public Works. Item number 5 is an agreement between Douglas County and ODOT to perform the design of a project in Tri-City to Myrtle Creek Community Connection and Mobility. The funding for this project is $3,541,387. 100% federal funding from the U.S. Department of Transportation. This is for their fiscal year 2025 under the Build Grant Program. This is for the design only of this project. This project will tie into our Safe Routes to School project in the Tri-City area at the Chadwick Connection intersection. The current plan is to use the information out of the design of this to go after the construction funding in a future Build Grant program.
So I will move to approve the agreement.
I will second that. Before you comment or a question on it, I think, Scott, you gotta talk about this a little bit. Tell us what we're doing there.
Okay, so for many years, Douglas County has been, we work on enhancing certain areas for bicycle, pedestrians, but sidewalks. Tri-City area is one of our areas that is an urban area, lots of congestion, lots of movement between pedestrians and kids to the schools and stuff. it's more of a city area than not, but it is not recognized as a city, it's recognized as a more of a
It's not within an incorporated city limit, so we're their local form of government.
correct, thank you for helping me with that, I was lost for words for a second. So this project will help urbanize that area, bring sidewalks and a bike lane and repave that route through there and which will enhance that area for safety and whatnot, even for the motorists, it'll help that part. Like I said, the county, you know, through numerous grant applications for years has tried to do something in this area, and we finally were able to get some traction on it through the Build Grant program. These Build Grants are highly competitive, extremely tough to get, and we actually received 2 of them, so.
So again, thank you. Areas like Tri-City that aren't cities, it's interesting how many folks don't understand how many unincorporated urban style areas we have that we're constantly trying to find ways to improve infrastructure. So this is a great great effort on your part, but it'll be really great for the community as we do this design and then eventually, go after the funding. But likely this work will happen in our next fiscal year, right? It won't happen in the next couple months. You won't spend this money.
Correct.
So, matter of fact, agenda items 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 all are similar in that the work that we're doing today, recognizing the revenue that's coming in, will all, or at least a portion of all of it, will move into the next fiscal year. This is a thing that confuses people that look at our budget, because they'll look at our ending fund budgeted amount, and then the beginning fund will be greater than our ending fund. And it's because of these things that you staff members and we as commissioners go out and get. It's because we save money by not spending everything in our budgets, because we don't spend our contingency money, and projects don't get completed all in 1 year, and additional grant money and funding all come in, and that starts as the beginning fund next year. So we are proud of the fact that our beginning fund balance is much greater than our budgeted ending fund balance from the year before. That's work that we do here every day to make that happen. Sometimes it's betrayed, or it's being talked about as something we're doing wrong, and it's literally one of the best things we do here is that we're able to find things like this. Staff, the commissioners, everybody working together, all the the department heads and all the employees here recognize that we're not in the culture of spend it or lose it. We're in the culture of spending the dollars necessary to do the services that need to get done, look for additional dollars, but don't spend money you don't need to spend. And that all comes together in the fact that, sort of knock on wood, that our starting fund is gonna be greater than our budgeted ending fund each year here as we do this work. So anyway, great. This is a great example of that. The quick math shows just today in the items that we're gonna take, there's about a $12 million increase in our starting fund next year because of this work from what we budgeted to be our ending fund balance in the current budget. So, we're not gonna do a budget adjustment each time these dollars come in. We do that at the end of the year. So anyway, thank you for doing this work, but more importantly, from a budget standpoint, this really helps us moving into next year.
It'll stay in there through the fruition of the projects.
Right.
So it could be a multi-year project.
Multi-years, continues to move forward, yep.
All right, with that, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Next one is similar, go ahead, Scott.
Scott Adams, Public Works. Item number 6 is similar to item number 5, but in a different area. This is an agreement between Douglas County and ODOT to perform the design of the Oregon 99 Multimodal Enhancement Sutherland Project on behalf of the county. The funding is $2,486,486 of federal funding from the U.S. Department of Transportation in their fiscal year 25 through the Build Grant process. This design incorporates Highway 99 both north and south of Central Avenue in Sutherland for enhancements, as well as 2 bridges. The one bridge is next to the Barnes fuel area, going over Calpuya Creek. That bridge was built in 1912. It is our oldest and most historic bridge that we have, although it doesn't look like it does not have any McCullough features like some of our big signature bridges. But it is one of our oldest bridges, and the other one's near the Madison stockpile next to the Sutherland interchange. Sutherland interchange. So,
So I will move to approve the agreement.
I'll second that. Questions or comments? And then I'll call for the question. Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Scott, next item.
again, Scott Adams Public Works, item number 7 is a grant agreement with US Forest Service for the Hazardous Fuels Reduction Project. The Forest Service will provide a maximum of $6,124,773 from the Community Wildfire Defense Grant Fund. Will be a county delivered program. It's 100% funded, no county match is required. This grant program will extend over a 5-year period. It will have some equipment purchase. It'll fund our staff, our county staff from Public Works. It'll help with other agency staff doing the work as well as contractors. Mostly for roads on the east side, such as North and South Myrtle, Little River, Cabot Creek, mainly the roads on that. Those are just a couple of examples, but we have a laundry list of roads, we have a schedule of the work, and a 5-year period to accomplish it.
I will move to approve the agreement.
I'll second that. Comments?
Well, I'm just gonna note that the county, there was a time when the timber receipt revenue, shared receipt program off the Forest Service provided more than adequate funding to do this work. And we took on a lot of these roads in this jurisdiction and improved these roads because we had that funding. I appreciate the fact that, you went after this grant, that the federal government recognized their obligation to help us keep these roads brushed and maintained to some level for wildfire. And again, this is a little north of $6 million coming in to help do that work, so great job.
Yeah, I also, along that lines, this is work that we need to accomplish anyway. I mean, we have to do this work, and I appreciate the fact that you went after this grant. I believe that we might be one of the only ones that did. The entire fund for this is how much? Is it the fund?
I don't have that.
I don't think it's much. I think we've got the lion's share of it here, because your staff recognized we needed to do this work and it was an opportunity, and I'm glad you did that. So with that, I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Scott, number 8, yours.
Again, Scott Adams Public Works. Item number 8 is the third amendment to an agreement with ODOT, between ODOT and Douglas County for the state to provide right-of-way services for the Conford Bridge Replacement Project and the Oakland Bridge Replacement Project. This is just extending the IGA from 12/31 of 2025 to 12/31 of 2028. Just a real quick update on those projects. Those bridges are built. Their traffic's on them. The bridge is mainly complete, but there still is some work with temporary easements, some plan establishment periods. And while those are taking place, those right-of-way components are active as a temporary easement until when those get done, then we'll close out the right-of-way process. ODOT administers that right-of-way process under the Uniform Real Estate Act. There's a huge acronym for it, but it follows a federal process, which is a little different than the state process. So it's cumbersome, and that's why this extension is needed.
I will move to approve the agreement amendment.
I'll second that. Questions or comments on it?
Well, just to note that this will affect an additional 3 county fiscal years.
Okay, with that, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. I think you're off the hook, Scott. Thank you. Item on there, this was a Salmon Harbor item.
I'm happy to.
You're familiar enough with it?
Yeah, so this is a grant agreement from the State Marine Board for the operation and maintenance of 2 recreational boat access sites within Salmon Harbor. The grant states that Oregon State Marine Board will provide $31,500 in state maintenance assistance grant funding and $2,400 in federal Clean Vessel Act funding for a total grant award of $33,900. The term of agreement is 07/1/25 through 6/30/27. And I would move to approve the grant.
I will second that. Do you have any questions or comments on it?
Just that, you know, the Jim Zimmer over at Salmon Harbor, they look for these opportunities also, and this assistance will help, maintain and at times we have some vessel clean stuff that needs to be done over there, and this will allow them to continue working on those things in that area of the county.
All right, I will call for the question. Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and the motion passes. Next item is a sheriff's department item. Invite up our sheriff.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Hanlon, Sheriff. This item before you this morning is a grant agreement number it's the First Amendment to contract number 30002594 with MedTrust LLC, who provides medical service in the adult side of the jail, on the county jail. The amendment incorporates medical services for River Rock Juvenile Department, which is the shelter side of the juvenile detention facility. The juvenile, or the MedTrust, under this agreement will be allowed to use unused nursing time at the juvenile detention facility to provide requested services. No additional cost for these services is expected, aside from the insurance premium increase, possibly at the time of insurance renewal.
I will move to approve the contract amendment.
I'll second that. Questions or comments?
Just I want to thank the sheriff's department and the juvenile department for thinking about working together and using those resources that we're already paying for when there's time to use them. We care for a lot of people between the jail, the juvenile detention, and this shelter, so there's oftentimes lots of needs. So instead of having a bunch of different separate contracts, this makes a lot of sense to combine them, so thank you.
And I'll call for the question. Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Scott, I've got another Public Works agenda item I'd like you to take care of. I know it's no surprise to you, but we were able to get the routing done, so it's off agenda, but I have it right here for you. If
I have it
you
as
got
well.
it as well? All right, perfect.
I believe it's the same one.
Absolutely.
This is the Scott Adams Public Works. This would be the order declaring a drought. So off agenda item, this is order declaring a local drought disaster and request to declare a state emergency for drought, Douglas County due to drought conditions. As many know, I mean, sometimes when the rivers look fine and we have a little rain outside, doesn't mean that it's actually not a drought condition, but if anybody's traveled up in the mountains this winter, like to Crater Lake or anything like that we've had a record low snow conditions. And so what this does is it helps provide access to local agricultural crop users, landowners, et cetera, to different services once we get this drought declaration moving forward. I'll let you guys.
So I'll move to approve the declaration, the emergency declaration for drought.
I'll second that.
Couple comments if I may.
Sure.
So thank you for bringing this forward. I think today with having the firefighters here and hearing some of the concern that they voiced around the possibility of some of the challenges we're gonna have this summer with how dry it's been, it's certainly timely. I would also like to make sure we get on the record, and I'll mention a couple things and please add on what I leave out, but this declaration allows for some benefits to people here in Douglas County, specific to the way they use water and work with the state water master. So it is not just symbolic, and it is not a situation where we're doing it to try to alarm anybody. I think most of the people that live here in Douglas County know it's been a dry spring and it was a dry winter and that there's very little snowpack, so, but, you know, that's really not the purpose of the declaration. The purpose really is to create, that mechanism to ask the state to declare emergency, which changes some of the fees and the ways people can access water. So if you could just touch on that for a minute, I would appreciate it.
Yes, so under a non-drought emergency, you know, fees are upwards of, you know, $1,500, $1,500 to access water permits. And there's only a certain silo of those water available, you know, through the state. State administers this program where once it's under the declaration and the declaration moves through the state process and gets identified by the governor, and that's approved, that opens up some doors to where some of those permits are now from $1,400 down to $200. It also puts in a queue of stuff that could transpire into, if it's a long enough period of drought under a certain condition, that'll then make it into the federal level, which opens up to USDA for agricultural benefits that people can apply for too.
So it helps farmers, ranchers, timberland owners. There's a whole category of people that this can help. So I'm happy to do it. There's been multiple other counties already have gone through this process and the governor's already declared the emergency at the state level. So we're not by any means jumping the gun. I think this is just an appropriate time to do it. So thank you.
I think we're joining 6 other counties that have already done that, huh?
Yes.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, just to say this clearly, it's not something that we determine when or if we're a partner in that, but really it is the state water master that, and who is local to our area, that says, hey, it's time and it's our responsibility as a local government to do this, in order to kick that stuff into place. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. It's kind of similar to how we do the roads and stuff too. I mean, we're a partner in that, we're a piece of it, but we're not the main component. The state water master is evaluating and OWRD is evaluating what's available up in the mountains and the drought conditions and giving those reports, and then at the same time recommending, you know, to the counties that are in these situations to do the drought declaration. That moves itself up through OEM, and that process then kicks it through there. So we're a component of the process.
Yeah, and what it looks like for some of these folks is that, you know, the state water master knows because of the snowpack level and the water level and enough history on it that there's a period of time when they're not gonna be able to draw from the streams anymore. And they need, you know, but yet they still have to water, do this, they have to, you know, to grow hay and that kind of thing. So this kind of sets that up to have some assistance to help them go through that process.
Correct, or receive supplemental funding to go purchase those materials somewhere else.
Thank you for that work. With that, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Next item is Commissioner comments. Commissioner Freeman.
So I already talked about the DFPA board meeting Monday that I attended. So again, what an incredible organization that is, and their response time and their idea of sending everybody and getting on fires quick and getting them put out is and their record of doing that is nothing short of amazing. So that's all I had today.
Perfect. I don't have anything else, and with that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming.